There
Some
you
other,
go.
yeah, some other counties have in that information sheet. Where the main water shut off is, the gas shut off and electrical breaker box.
Okay,
Just in case there's an emergency.
right, right.
Now, I mean, to me, that makes sense, but then. Would a owner. Want. You know, a renter to have that information, I just. Well, especially like a water shut off if there was a problem.
I mean,
I would.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
I mean, if there's a problem, know how to shut it off would be good.
yeah. just-
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, yeah,
So, can we recap kind of what we talked about since I just started recording? This for Linda and cause I guess she'll look through this.
yeah, the first thing was,
So we called the meeting to order.
yes. Mhm.
And Linda, I didn't hit record, so we've missed the first part of this meeting.
And after we called it to order, we discussed how we were going to table the.
subdivision.
Yeah, no, the short-term,
Short-term.
rental change of the ordinance, and that Michelle and Trish will.
We'll inform.
Do an individual application to the city council if they choose to.
Yeah.
We, either Linda or I will get in touch with them. And then just the next thing was some updates or changes to the short-term rental ordinance that we have currently. First one being, change of age in section 2206 from 18 to 25. We're not gonna deal with parking. We're gonna do a referral for the. Noise. Audible within dwellings. Since the short-term rental one does not go over noise, but the general ordinances do. And then the last thing being in the, guest rooms of these short-term rentals, they have to have an information page. And on that information page, we think that the main water shut off, gas shut off, and electrical breaker box locations should be listed on that information sheet just in case of emergencies. So, you know, what Linda said, if we do update these 3 points, we have to go through the same process that basically Trish and Michelle will have to go through. We'll make an application to the city council for updating the short-term rental ordinance. And then it'll come back to us again, and we'll have to have an open meeting about it.
I know those few changes.
Yes.
That we'd like that.
Yeah, so. All right, I guess, can I get a motion for approval? For those 3.
Hi.
Hey,
How's it going?
good.
Good.
Good. Good to see you. I'm Brian.
Brian.
I'm Brian.
I'm David. That's a good, echoing your name back to you.
Right, yeah. Nice to meet you.
I'm Ally.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, Brian, David Parker.
David, nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you.
Sorry, I'm a little late.
If you just wanna make sure you sign in over at the little podium. There.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, okay, so motion for approval,
Motion to approve.
okay,
Second that?
and third, all right.
All right.
Okay, and then, let's see. Okay, the last thing is going to be, we were talking about, the writing an ordinance for subdividing and merging lots. And we are given some new guidelines from Linda, so what I think we're gonna do is take a look over those guidelines, and decide amongst ourselves, you know, what we think we can add to them or, you know, and then I'll talk to Linda again. And see how she wants to better incorporate what she had written into an ordinance for subdividing and merging lots. So,
I guess the one thing that I have was that, you know, that these are for under 10 acre lots
yes,
and that all the existing requirements of lot width and all will apply to, you know, any lot that is subdivided
right,
unless there's a variance issued by the council.
correct,
So that would be the path. We'll kind of stick to the same parameters of lot sizes and requirements that are existing.
yes.
And then we'll just make this change for these smaller lots. And any other, you know, nuances, I guess, that we.
Yeah, basically,
see.
nobody's gonna be. Subdividing to a smaller lot than 1 acre, no matter, you know, right?
Yeah, and within that, there's 1 acre of actually that qualifies for septic, so there's on some steep lands, some of that, I believe. Does not qualify for, I think that's something that needs to maybe clarified, or if we'll read through the existing stuff.
Mhm.
There's slopes over 20% or something like that have you have to have, like, I guess, usable stuff where you can percolate and things for septic, and also otherwise you end up with just a house on one flat spot and just have this big drop off, but no place for septic, so. I guess when we do this, we can address that to make sure that's clear.
So are you saying that even if it's a 1 acre lot, if there's not a place for septic, it might need to be more than 1 acre? Okay,
I think so, yeah, that's
Okay.
the county require that, but and it protects a lot of things, protects the watershed, it protects people down below you, but the stuff has to, septic has to percolate
Mhm.
into the ground. And so there are, rules, and you get, qualified people to come out and do perk tests and
Yes,
things like
yeah.
that. But then there are also things that, we can look at to make sure that, we're protecting the quality and the aesthetic of, what we have.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that was one, when the person came in to want to. Take part of somebody else's lot. That would have left that person with a lot less than 1 acre, and that's what I think. Got them worried about. You know?
Yeah, which you shouldn't be able to do.
Right,
so.
right, correct.
Yeah.
I
because
mean,
that
is
would be-
the standard 1 acre?
That's
It's hard to say around here. I mean, nobody
Well-
on my block has 1 acre.
Yeah, well, in town here, they're actually gosh, I don't have it. It actually, you could have less than 1 acre if we had sewage. I think it's. Yeah, I think I flounder around here, but you could have less than 1 acre, I believe, as far as what the. I'll probably put to the little, those little graph in here that.
Is
Kind
that the ordinance, our ordinance, or is that something else?
Well, that's,
That's.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, county, so here are minimum lot width and feet, minimum area and square feet per lot. So for R1, the minimum area per square foot is actually 15,000 square feet, which is 1/3 of an acre. So, but because we don't have sewage, you can't do that.
Yeah,
So it goes to if we had sewage, then you could actually put, 3 houses on 1 acre, and R2, you could put 4.5 houses basically, and then everything else, goes up above 1 acre. I think agricultural is 1 acre requirement, so
okay.
yeah, so that's it. Yeah, but I don't think we're gonna, ever have our sewage in this town.
Now, so with the rocky terrain and everything,
Right.
it's gonna be,
Yeah.
it's not feasible.
unless we get a big grant from somebody and.
Yeah,
it would be
very big.
It would be nice to have a, you know,
Yeah.
sewage treatment system and, would cause
Well-
problems of septic leakage into waterways and stuff like that, future problems if we get so developed. But,
But didn't they say like even Georgia Power couldn't put any lines underground because there were so many rocks and
No.
they were like, forget it?
now there's tons of lines underground, oh, maybe over here, oh, this whole side is all underground on my side.
Really?
Urban's are me and the Y camp. And if you ever go old 441,
Mhm.
like right now, they're doing all that work above Lakemont where they're doing this horizontal drilling. They cram these tubes in and they run the
Okay.
line. So yeah, it can be done.
Yeah,
Might be hard up there, but.
yeah, right, where.
They can drill through the rocks and they've got the bits and they're becoming better and better at.
I bet that's expensive.
It is.
All right, so we'll see what, and we can all, read up on this and, get with Linda to get a little bit more of an idea.
Yeah, I think what you spoke of though was, where you can't reduce your lot
Right.
below what it's platted as to accommodate someone else's lot if you're at the minimum for the septic
yes,
for that lot.
Right.
I think that's an important thing that should be, considered.
yes.
I'm not aware of that, so.
Okay.
that's like, yeah.
All right, so did you have anything?
Not really, I was just trying to pop in, show my face. and Make sure I knew all of you guys and pass on along my contact information for you guys as well, so. If there's anything that I can help with, we have considerable amount of experience, like as far as like development
Mhm.
properties and everything is concerned, so. Any way that I can help, I would gladly do that for you guys, so.
And how is the development going for?
So we actually got some good news this past week. So there was some very thick rock that we had to kind of
Yeah.
go into. But thankfully, we were able to keep the same footprint for the development side over there that we had originally like proposed. So that's moving forward. And as far as the short-term vacation rental ordinances and everything, I would like to be a part of that if you guys are agreeable to it, because I think you guys were welcoming to me the last time I spoke with you at the meeting, right? It's like to my feedback and everything. And so I can incorporate anything and everything that you guys want in place as a town ordinance. I can incorporate those things, those aspects into the rules that I apply to that property.
Okay,
And the great thing about that is I have the authority to evict anybody if they don't adhere to those rules.
and that's, we're gonna table that for now. I don't know if you were here when we said that, we're gonna.
I
let
heard it, yeah.
Michelle and Trish go
Yeah.
on to the individual, but, I just lost my train of thought.
You were talking about having the minimum age being 25 instead of 18 for a point of contact per person in case.
That's, yeah,
Yeah.
That's one thing.
no problem, yeah.
So do you have short?
We have our own set of rules for the short-term rental properties that we already manage. And so we were gonna incorporate those, and in a lot of ways, they're more restrictive than what you currently have in your ordinance. And so I can provide a copy of that to you guys so that you can look over. And then I can incorporate anything you propose to the council,
Mhm.
because it ultimately is gonna fall on them for the final approval, right?
Right, yes.
So to the extent that we can be agreeable
Mhm.
on the ordinances and the rules and regulations that are gonna be in place, we can enforce those internally, right? So that you don't have to call the police, you don't have to get the town involved in anything, you can just call us.
And that, yes, and
And
that's,
we can enforce them, we have the power to evict.
and if we knew that would happen with everyone, who wanted to
Yeah.
have short-term rental, that would be fantastic,
Yeah.
But that's one of the things that we're afraid of currently. So we'll see, have you?
I don't have any power over anybody else.
No, oh, I know
Yeah.
that, yes, but do you have other short-term rentals?
We do,
Yeah.
yeah, Valley Springs Resort, I think you're from.
Cute little valley
Yeah.
springs up there, yeah.
Yeah.
Patterson Gap, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you have
The
problems?
accommodations are not quite what I would like them to be, but at this point, like it's not monetarily effective for us to like tear it down and rebuild it, so we just leave it for what it is. The grounds themselves, I think is
Yeah.
kind of the selling point of that property. But here we're trying to do something a little bit more upscale. That's conducive for families, you know, small families
Yeah.
that wanna come, they wanna enjoy the state park and wanna enjoy the beauty of Tallulah Falls and the lake. So that's kind of the angle that we're taking there.
And do you have other short-term rentals and how, as far as problems go? I mean, do you run
Very,
into?
very few. I mean, we get some complaints every now and then. Honestly, the most frequent complaint that we hear is people not knowing how to work the TV.
So that's good.
Outside of that, like, we have very few like noise complaints and everything, like, that's all strictly laid out
Okay,
in our guidelines and our rules, like 10
And
PM.
where did you get your original guidelines? Like, how did you?
We developed them internally,
You did, okay,
based on feedback from the neighbors.
okay,
And so, and that's always a fluid thing,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So as it applies to this property, it's gonna be fluid as well. So we're gonna adhere to whatever the community feels and deems is necessary.
Okay.
Obviously, we want our guests to be pleased. We don't want the cops called on,
right,
right?
Right,
And we don't want you guys to have to call the cops on them. So,
right,
so we're gonna work with you guys like in any and every way possible to make sure that this thing is smooth, that it doesn't cause additional traffic up the road. I know that's one of the big
Yes.
concerns.
Yeah.
Like traffic, like people driving up the road. We're gonna put signage up that clearly designates that this is where you're supposed to be, where you're supposed to stay. If they choose to drive up the mountain, that's out of our control, but at the same time, we're gonna put the rules in place that say, hey, you have to abide by the speed limit,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
Look out for oncoming traffic and everything else, so.
And really up the mountain there isn't anything to see. I mean, there's houses in that, right? I mean, you wanna go out
There's
towards the
Minimal
north,
parking too,
right?
yeah, so like, if they wanted to drive up, they're basically gonna have to make a lap and come back right up.
Right, right, correct.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, well, sounds good.
I was gonna say, I mean, that would be great to have a copy of what you do.
Yeah,
For the.
I can send
yeah.
it to you guys, I'm gonna leave
Okay.
a card with all.
Okay, all right.
You
Um,
can reach out to me directly, and that's one thing about this property, like with me being, you know, I grew up right up the street, like less than 10 minutes away, my parents' house is right there.
Yeah.
My Uncle Johnny is right across the street. So if you have any issues, anything that you want to address,
Yeah.
you can reach out to me directly. So that's the benefit, I think, as opposed to what most short-term vacation rentals like in Clayton area. That's like big money.
Yeah.
Property investors,
Right.
you know, from out of town that live in Atlanta, even though I live in Atlanta, I
yeah,
live there
Yeah.
because my wife's sales territory is northwest and I'm northeast, so.
yeah,
We kind of met in the middle of it, but you can always reach out to me and I'll address any issues.
okay. I mean, I think. You know, what you were saying earlier is like, so then we get other people that start doing short term. We have to be able to say these are the guidelines, this
Yes,
is what it
right,
is,
yeah.
but like, if not everybody is like you and willing to like
Right.
intervene and everything, I mean. Then that's, you know, something to think about too, but I think if we had like a copy of what you
Yeah,
did and then maybe. You know, we
Right.
should
Then
suggest
you could
that,
take a copy of what our standards are, and what
Yeah.
our regulations and rules are. And you could apply it to the entirety of the town,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And in that, our short-term rental, there is if these owners don't comply or their guests don't comply,
Yeah.
they
You can
get,
strip the license.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, it does say that.
Okay.
And there are also some structured rules in the town, STVR, ordinance,
okay.
about noise, well, maybe first back, there's noise
Right.
happen for the whole
Right,
town.
yeah.
So, but it's not easy to have a short-term vacation rental in Tallulah Falls, so.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
That's another, I guess, thing that we're not gonna be flooded with short-term vacation rentals, there's a small town,
Yeah,
it's nice to just strike a balance, I think.
yeah.
yeah, I
Um,
agree,
Well, I don't, especially. The smaller places, if you have one unit,
yeah,
that doesn't do, too much to the city.
Right, just so you don't have, every house along the lake being that.
Right.
and
Yeah.
bringing
Right.
to Panama City. and-
It is not gonna be that. You guarantee that. That, for one thing, that's not the market that we're trying to
Right. I
capture.
mean, I was,
Right.
I was
Yeah.
talking, if it was all, everything were, that would be the,
Yeah.
people would, if they could, that would be what would turn out on this
Yeah.
side of the lake,
Yeah.
definitely.
And I mean, I see families wanting to go hiking and visit the gorge and things like that. I don't,
Yeah.
as far as people partying,
No,
see that out here.
I don't really see this as a party town. Right, that's the glory of it, that's the beauty of it,
Right,
is that people can enjoy the beauty of the town for what it is.
right,
The beauty of the lake and mountains and the state park, that's what people come here for, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
And that's what we're trying to embrace, and that's what we're trying to build upon,
Mhm.
so.
So do you guys have any kind of timeline or no?
So they're
If you
gonna
don't-
pour the forms, for the townhomes over here that you guys are referring to,
Mhm.
Thursday.
Oh,
They should be pouring the forms.
Okay.
The plumber lined up, that's gonna come to see the forms and just do his underground plumbing on that side.
yeah, moving along.
Moving along, yeah. But again, within you guys' jurisdiction, and I wanna get you guys say so. You know,
Yeah,
I've always said from the very beginning that my father has said the same thing, my uncle said the same thing, they put me in charge of this project,
Mhm.
right? It's what I moved here for. I lived in Charleston. I worked for a boutique hotel management company for 5.5 years. So they put me in charge of this project, but they have always said from the very beginning, we want to be good neighbors.
Yeah.
And that is something I intend to adhere to. That's something I've said repeatedly, and I intend to do that. So
that's awesome.
I'm gonna incorporate you guys' input on every decision that you make. So,
Can't ask for more.
I know,
Yeah.
awesome, thank you.
I can't speak for everyone else,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
but getting a set of guidelines set in place
Mhm.
that we're gonna adhere to, that you can possibly apply to every other property, I
Yeah.
think is gonna be beneficial to everybody in the
Yeah.
community.
Great. Great. Okay, anything else? Okay. All right, so it's 6:58. I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second that.
Okay, all in favor? I move to adjourn the meeting.